you go.
We are live and welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this beautiful Monday to Silent Mystics Finding Your Voice, where my co-host and I, Diana, we explore the magical, the mystical, and the often unexplainable. Hi, Diana. How are you today?
And I am doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm really doing good. I'm doing extremely well today. I have to say, I don't know, I'd love to hear from everybody. It was kind of a rocky weekend with the full moon, Halloween. I mean, there was some seriously crazy energy out there, right? Did you
Yes.
feel it?
Not only did I feel it, I was greatly affected by it.
Okay.
So yes, definitely. So if anyone else has been feeling any kind of crazies, go ahead and start posting. We'll check it's the two of us today again, because you guys are our guests.
Yes.
Carol Ann and I, and then the crowd, whatever questions that you have, we're going to try to address as we're going through the show. And look at, I get to do the echo thing today.
Oh, good for you. Hi, Dawn, and hi, Julie. It's so nice to see you both. I'm so glad you're here with us today. I'm going to put this up here so I can see our comments. Carol Ann, hello, hello, hello again. One of my favorite people in the whole world, and also my mom in another lifetime. So I knew that we were really connected. From the moment I saw her, especially the first time I met her in person, I mean, there is a 1.2 inches difference in her height. However, I just wanted to pick her up and carry her around. She has that nurturing mom vibe. And I just love her so much. And it was even more special than just as a soul family friend. I really felt comfortable with her from the beginning. So that's why. Because
she was have to explain to me, because I met her last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and I was like, "Yep, I understand completely." Yeah. But you know what's funny is you feel that mother energy towards her, and for me, it feels like sister. Yeah. It really does. In so many ways, we have gone, like our lives have kind of paralleled each other. So in a lot of ways, it feels like there's definitely a connection, some kind of a soul connection. And when I looked in her eyes, I was like, "Yep, there you are, Ruth Bradford. Nice to see you."
It is so good to see you, Ruth. I hope you're doing well. You're on my mind quite a bit lately, so I hope all is well. Let us know. And Danette, hello. It's so nice to see you here with us. Hello, hello. And John sends his unconditional love to us all. John, across the pond, you are exceptionally sweet, and I really look forward to your messages in that. He is such an uplifting person and just such a sweet soul. So
yeah. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim. Hello, hello, hello.
So you guys, we're going to be talking a lot about current energies, how we're being affected by things, and a whole lot of healing going on. So we can get really, really focused on what is making us crazy. I'm hearing a lot of heart palpitations and dizziness and, all kinds of wild physical things going on. Emotional roller coaster ride this week, especially. Lots of things. I know too. I mean, when I say physical stuff, Caroline was complaining about it. Pretty much everyone that I've talked to recently has been going through what I would call like an energy flu. It feels as if we've been going through that whole emotional roller coaster ride. Now it's a physical thing. It's like, oh gosh, let the body try to catch up to all of the energies that are going on. Have you been feeling that too, Geraldine?
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you, yes, big yes, capital letters, yes. And I just want to say hi to Patricia Hayes also, and and Belinda is here with us. Saturday, Belinda and Sherry and Rick came out for the full moon, and they fixed me dinner. Oh, I have to say, that was a highlight for me this weekend. It's rare that anyone cooks for me, so they came out and made this wonderful pizza with cauliflower crust, and it was all vegetarian, and I just loved it. In fact, I had some yesterday, also last night for supper, leftovers. But Saturday during the day, I haven't been that exhausted, and it's not like I didn't have a good night's sleep the night before, but I was exhausted, and I can't say I was depressed. It was like, I don't know. Hi, Becky. it was like I was out of sorts. It was just a disconnect, disconcerting. I don't even know the proper word for it. It wasn't even like anything that I could pinpoint. There was nothing wrong. Nothing had gone on. Nothing triggered me. But
Mhm.
I couldn't move. I I napped. I just couldn't stay focused on any one thing. I just finally put on a feel good movie and watched it because I just couldn't be in my head and feel what was going on in my body.
Mhm.
And then when the girls got here Saturday night, it was like, boom, I just snapped right out of it. I had their energy around and I felt really good. But it was
That's
a
well.
horrible day.
Yeah, I was feeling that yesterday, and I'm glad that you reached out to me yesterday because I really needed somebody to try to pull me back because I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but it's almost an out of body experience. It's almost like this, our souls, our spirits are spending time doing something away from us. And then the ego is just sitting around going, what in the world? Why do I feel so weird? I can't really, like, we're so stuck in 3D kind of energy. And
Yeah.
it's really difficult, and it hit me out of nowhere. I was fine. And then all of a sudden it was like plop, it plopped in my lap. And then I had to deal with it all afternoon. But it also brought, that's the plus side of this, is it also brought a big growth spurt for me. It was like, it's like sometimes I think our angels just bring us a big homework assignment and we're like, I got no idea. I got no idea how I'm going to handle this homework assignment. It's like, it's really big and I don't know if I want to touch it. But when you dive in, you go ahead and just dive into it, whatever it's going to bring. And then you come out the other side, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I got it. I've solved a big problem. That's what it feels like to me. I solved an equation that I just didn't think was solvable through that. So,
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
I think everybody's in experiencing that. And John says, what a lovely moon it was. I really feel strongly about this moon healing us all. And it really was a unique moon this month. Of course, it was a blue moon, but I don't know if anybody else out there has had this feeling or not, but I feel as if it's almost as if we have been in the birthing canal and we're finally emerging from the birthing canal. There has been a tremendous shift, at least for me.
mm-hmm.
It's not that everything is suddenly all rosy or whatever, but it just feels like I'm in a different place
Mm-hmm.
than I was, even, even since the beginning of the year, with COVID and everything else. And maybe it's because 2020 is coming to an end. We've got 2 months left in 2020. And quite honestly, 2021, I don't want to rush through the end of this year. I really don't. I'm okay with the way it is, but it kind of feels like pretty soon we're just going to have breathe this collective sigh of relief,
Yeah, this
right?
2020 has been
Right.
a quite 2020. Who could have ever predicted? Like when we went into 2020 a year ago, we were like, we thought we had it rough. And then 2020 came along and we're like, oh my gosh, who could have ever have seen this coming? We knew something was coming. We all felt it. We're like on the verge of something. It feels like to me now, after coming all the way around to the other end of 2020, that it really feels like we're coming into a year of more ease. Like now this year is going to be okay, get time to breathe. Everybody take a big collective sigh. You've got a year to try to adjust and adapt to all of these big changes that we've been going through in 2020 so
Yeah.
that we can prepare, because our growth period is never going to end. We're going to continue to have these experiences. That's what helps us to grow. So there's still going to be things that are going to come up, but I feel like we've had so much growth this year that it's going to be easier for us to deal with.
I think so. And I think we're dealing with things a lot differently, John. And I want to say to, is it Manzi Mendez? I feel your strong energy and I wanted to know if I can ask you about my health. I've been a little sick this weekend till today. And even though I appreciate that question, we're not health professionals and we're actually, it would be, we'd get in a whole lot of trouble if we did something of that nature. However, I will say this, that a lot of us are experiencing all types, everything from headaches, severe headaches, to nausea, to I'm 63. I went through menopause a long time ago. I've been having what I would term hot flashes. I am like where my body is just so heated up, fatigue, extreme fatigue. There what you would think is arthritic inflammation.
Mhm.
I say this because we are moving from a carbon-based to a crystalline-based DNA structure. Our bodies are ascending, and we're not just ascending consciously, we're ascending physically as well.
Mm.
And so the body, to try to handle the energy that's coming in on this planet, this 3D body does not adjust to that easily. Let me put it that way. So there's a lot of things. And if you have symptoms that are carrying on with COVID, that's the hard part right now, is discerning what is the flu, what is a cold, what is COVID, what's ascension. There's a lot of stuff coming onto the planet right now. So I would highly encourage you, if you have symptoms that are continuing, to go to the doctor. If the doctor says, and I can't count the number of people that have done this, says to you, I can't find a thing wrong,
You're like,
then you know
okay, extension, thank you.
thank you very much.
That
So,
means,
and
but
I
self-care,
don't want to be vague, but
right?
Diana, I'm gonna let you take it.
Well, because we're in this, because we all know, and of course there's viruses and there's all this crazy stuff going on, and people are getting all kinds of illnesses, but we're also in a time of real growth potential of our abilities being more and more heightened and channeling healing energy to one another, things like that. So not only are we going through this, but it's also the opportunity for us to work together to kind of build each other up. But please remember that it is absolutely imperative self-care right now. You have to take care of yourself. You've got to be drinking a lot of water. You need to watch your supplements. Make sure you're getting the right vitamins, the right diets, whatever, however you're going about doing that. Exercise, nature, salt baths, all those things, all these things that we've been taught that help us. If you're ignoring yourself and you're working too hard and you're trying to give to everyone else, which is what we all do, and you're not replenishing, you're not taking the time for your own self, then you're going to be even more wiped out. You are going to be more open to illness. You're going to be more open to all these things that are going on the planet because you're just letting yourself get too depleted. So please, if you're not feeling good, if you've not been feeling good for a few days and suddenly you're like, okay, I'm starting to feel better. Well, rest, listen to your body. Please allow yourselves to rest, guys. We're not here to work ourselves into a grave.
No.
We have our bodies, even when we're sleeping, are going through a huge transition. You need to listen to that body. On those days when you feel really tired and you're like, I don't even know why I'm tired. I slept for 10 hours last night. Well, it doesn't matter why. You just are. So just listen to your body and take good care of yourself. And you'll find as you take better care of yourself and you listen to yourself more, that those symptoms will ease up a little bit. They will get better. We really are. We're in this together, guys. It's just going to be, this has never happened before. We've never ascended like this in physical form. So just know that you are going through a really miraculous time and have patience. Yeah, that's my biggest advice.
Patricia says the nausea is brutal, and it is. It really is.
Okay, now can I say one thing to the nausea and things like that? Please make sure that you're being careful to clear your energy. Please be sure that you're asking to have those cords and attachments severed and released, because a lot of times if you've got a lot of nausea, it's because you have a cord attachment to the lower chakras. Your energy may not be flowing properly. You may have some kind of an attachment there that will cause a lot of nausea too. So make sure that you're checking this out from different levels. Check your physical. If you don't know how to clear your energy, get somebody to help you clear your energy, your chakras, and work on some energy healing, and then making sure that you're grounding your energy and all that stuff too, because it could be, we're definitely picking up some crazy energies right now that we want to make sure that we're keeping clear of. Otherwise, it does affect us more physically.
Diana's very good at that. John is very good at that, right? I taught angelic Reiki last weekend, and prior to that, John had sent me a message, and he said, "You're feeling a little wonky," or I don't know quite how he put it, but he did a chakra clearing, and I had an attachment. And so he took care of that for me as well. And I felt so much better. I really did feel a whole lot better. So again, John, thank you. And there are a lot of people out there that do this work. And Diana's very, very good at it. She has gotten me through, you know what, I've just lost track as to so many things that you've gotten me through, and now recently, John. So, you know, do hang on. A lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin D is necessary, magnesium, and
iron too has been necessary.
Yes.
For whatever reason, my iron is getting depleted through this.
Okay.
So ferrosulfate every so often. Now, I'm not a doctor, guys. Right. Listen to your body. What do you feel like your body needs? B12, your B vitamins, watch them, because if you're not, if you're not keeping what you need in your body, I don't mean to spurt that out, but that's true. I noticed it in Jim too. He was having such a hard time. I looked at his gums, and his gums were really pale. So we did some iron, and it helped him a lot. So just please listen to your body and what it needs. It's important.
I want to say hi to Suzanne. How are you, dear girl? Yeah. And I'm glad you blurted it out, because, and I don't know if many of you are familiar with this, but one way to tell what your body needs is you can just listen to it. And this is easy. This is what I do. I use what I call the sway test. You can do muscle kinesiology, with the arms or with the fingers, but I find, for me, the easiest is I stand up, and so I ask my body to give me a yes answer. And for me, that I usually sway forward, okay? And then I recenter and I say thank you. And then I ask my body to give me a no answer. And I usually go backwards like this, okay? So what I'll do is I will take a beverage. I will take anything, a vitamin, food. It doesn't matter what it is. I've done this with books in bookstores, because I have a tendency to go a little book crazy, right? So I had a big stack. Then I went, okay, obviously I probably don't need all these books. So I will take and put it between my solar plexus and my sacral chakra. And I will ask my body, is this for my highest good? And it will tell me yes or no. Interestingly enough, right now, bananas, I can't eat bananas. I'm not supposed to be eating bananas. And when I had a protein shake a few weeks ago with a banana in it, I had some real distress. And I didn't even attribute it to that. But since I cut putting frozen bananas in my smoothie in the morning, I'm not having issues. So
see, I can't do that either. I can't. I've been able to eat bananas for years.
Wow.
I love them. I love them. And my body now says nope. And I still sneak a little chocolate, but it doesn't want chocolate. It doesn't really want a lot of meat. And I almost think, see, I cut off all the beef. I still like some fish. I've been sneaking some turkey or some chicken, and sometimes I'm noticing an energy drop with the meat. So I'm any kind of meat right now. So that too, you got to listen to yourself. It's your body's going to tell you what it needs. And so often people just aren't trained. They go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, you're like, yeah, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. What happens? Keep a list. What happens to you when you eat certain foods? That's the easiest way. If you can't do the, I'm going to listen to my body as far as it moving, a pendulum kind of thing, then what happened to you when you ate a certain food? And if you ate it again, does that happen again? And keep a record of what's happening when you eat certain foods, because there could be certain things that are causing, it's more of an allergic. It could be that you're suddenly not able to handle dairy. I did that. I used to drink a ton of milk, and then all of a sudden it was like, nope, no more dairy. Yeah. Our bodies are changing. Please be aware of that. Your body physically every day keeps regenerating itself. It's brand new today. So just because you could do something yesterday doesn't mean you can do it today. So every day be aware of the changes and then listen to your body. Yeah. Really important.
That's all the time. And also, John, he brings up a lot of good points, always call in Archangel Michael for protection, but John says, maybe I'm too empathic. This is another thing that and I've seen who's on here watching right now, at least the ones making comments I can see, and who are friends of mine on Facebook. And here's the thing, being empaths, and right now in particular, with the election here in the States, with all of the conflicts that are going on really all over the globe, there is so much energy, overwhelming energy right now, that we're all taking it on. And you have to go through nowhere to get to my house, right, Diana? I mean, we do.
Down the river.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
really.
only a bridge.
Yeah, it's amazing. But when we're empathic, we don't have to go out into the crowds to feel what's going on in the planet. And
Mhm.
so each and every one of you are you're like a radar,
Transmitter.
yeah, we're feeling all of this. So we're feeling it in our bodies, we're feeling it all the time. And it's a lot of craziness out there. So we're really needing to offset it. Now, I also will say right now, I find that I want comforting foods, I want grounding foods, I want to eat some of those. And we so often in the spiritual community, you hear, well, you have to do this, you have to be vegetarian, you have to be vegan, you have to be this, you have to be that. You don't have to be anything. You listen to your body, because sometimes that, like Roz says, I like to eat beef liver sauteed with onion, garlic, and vinegar around the time I'm menstruating for iron. I guess if you've never had liver, try liver pate on a piece of buttered toast. I love liver, by the way. And my body, I was doing keto. I lost a bunch of weight. I felt okay for a while. And my body kept saying, no, I had no moral issue with it because I did humanely raised, organic, grass-fed, everything. I'm very conscious about what I put in my body. But my body said no. So it said, you need to go more vegetarian. I'm actually a pescatarian, but I'm not so radical that if I'm going through a place that I need something that is more of a comfort food, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna. We can't be so hard and strict. We just have to listen to our bodies and not put a judgment on what it says to do.
Well, it's more what you feel or what the energy is attached to the food than it is what you're actually eating, I think. And so we can attach all kinds of guilt or all kinds of shame or whatever to something that we're eating. And then it becomes a negative energy entering our body. But if we're like, no, it's just what I need. I know I'm nurturing myself. This is good, like mama's milk. It just feels like you're just getting exactly what you need, and you're getting exactly what you need from it. It may be chocolate, it may be something like that. If that's what your body needs, then you're listening and you're taking good care of yourself. And I need to say something really quick, because when I said transmitters, the better word would be transmuter, because we didn't come here to be nothing. We came here to actually help to lighten the vibration of the planet. So you're like a filter. I've said this before. So there's all this crazy stuff going on right now, and it's hitting you like a lump of bricks. And you're like, okay, what do I do with this? Okay, just hold it. It's not your own. You can acknowledge that you've got something that you've picked up from someone else. Yes, we're empaths. We're picking up everyone else's energy. Yes, I can release you with love. I can transmit this. I can transmute it. And then it becomes a lighter energy for whoever. I don't know, if you picked it up from someone else or where it's coming from, or if it's a collective energy. But your job is just to be here, find joy, try to raise your vibration. And then as this stuff hits you, it's easier for you to deal with. And we're all doing that. Like it or not, it's part of the job.
It is part of the job. I had a conversation today with my parents, and my dad's 91 and my mom turned 88 today.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
And I have to say they're surprisingly open and handle my views pretty well for the most part, because I'm pretty out there. But here's the thing, this show is called Silent Mystics. We talk about the magical, the mystical, and the unexplainable.
Mm-hmm.
My truth is that we are all one consciousness. It is a collective consciousness. These bodies, it is an illusion. It kind of propagates that illusion that we're separate, but we're not. Our energy, when you use dowsing rods, when you're an empath, you feel other people's energy. So as I explained to them, I don't watch the news. It's not that I don't care. It's that what we focus on is what we put out in that collective soup. It's like every single person puts an ingredient in the consciousness soup.
Mm-hmm.
And there are two things, love and fear. I want to put love in the soup.
Right.
That doesn't mean I have my head in the sand. But if I'm if I'm believing all of those negative focuses out there, then what am I putting in the collective soup? I'm putting in negativity, I'm putting in fear. And I want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
We don't want icky soup. We want love.
Oh, we want
We want the good stuff.
yummy, 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 yummy soup. And, and that doesn't mean that I don't get angry. That doesn't mean that my humanity doesn't get the best of me. Quite often, far more often than I would like. However, I am reactive in the fearful way less and less and less as time goes on. Mm-hmm. And so as I transform, transmute, alchemize those parts in myself, then we are alchemizing the fear for the collective humanity and the collective consciousness. That word is coming up a lot. I don't know if you've heard that word a lot, but I'm hearing it everywhere, that alchemy, and we're alchemizing the fear. That's part of what we as light workers are doing right now. And it may seem magical and mystical, but it is really, in a fifth dimensional consciousness, it's reality. It's not magical. It's not mystical. It is the way it is. It's the norm.
And it comes natural. So here's the thing, is you go by what it feels like. So for many of us, when I'm sitting and having a conversation with people that are really stuck in their 3D, and all they want to talk about is politics or the weather or whatever, or negative relationships, and they want to focus on being like gossiping or whatever, I feel myself shrink down. It's like, and then I go, okay, now I want to go to that place, that magical part of me, that big heart of me, that's where we move into that 5D energy. We've been working at this for a while, and suddenly we're like, oh yeah, let's talk dragons and let's talk about fairies in the forest or whatever. Can we just have some fun for a while? Because our souls are so longing for that magic. We're like the Harry Potter thing. It's like, yeah, let's go find the magic. I don't want to stay in this stuff anymore. Right. And the beautiful part of that is that really is our job here. Like, we're really supposed to be going into that, not back there with them that are still stuck in the 3D, but moving into that really, really magical part of us, because it lightens us up and it lightens up our vibrations and it helps us to do our job better, which is to help transmute this horrible, icky, ucky energy into light energy. That's really your job. So what better job could you have? You get to go have fun. You get to find joy. You get to have fun. That's your job.
Speaking of fun, Carol Ann Cross is with us, who also, she teaches people how to meet their dragons, how to deal with have a relationship with the elementals and the fairies. She is magical. She is magical. And the truth of it is, that is the norm, and that will become the norm at some point in our existence right here. That will be the norm. It won't seem so out of the ordinary or the magical or the mystical. It will become the norm. So welcome, Carol Ann, and Hope and Angel. Thank you all for joining us today. It really is beautiful to have you.
Too.
Yeah.
And Lynn Paulson. Yes, I knew there was 3 or 4 new ones.
That is awesome. So yeah, I am really, really, really looking forward to the day when the magical and mystical is the normal.
Yeah. See, right now we're magical, mystical, sometimes unexplainable. Do you notice, let me ask you, this is a fun question, that I know forever I've been sensitive to energies, but now it's like, wow, like the energies are becoming so much more. Of course, part of that was we had that whole October 31st. I don't think we got the same rules anymore. I don't think they still apply. Like, oh, it's the veil is thinning. I just think the veil is like gone to me. So I'll walk into a room and I'm like, well, hello. I just walk right into this beautiful energy again the other day in this shop. I walk in, I posted pictures on one of the webs or on one of the pages because I walked into the energy and she was very sweet and and I was like, wow, you're so sweet. The other day I felt Steve massage my neck. I know he's done that for other people, but I had never experienced it fully. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what is that? Like, somebody's giving me a neck rub and nobody's here. And sure enough, it's like this beautiful. angelic rub from behind me. So I feel like we're just, I don't know, it is magic. I'm feeling like I really am. We're just stepping into this magical, and we can't see it with these eyes. So we think it's not happening. We're like, come on, when is it going to happen? When it's actually happening under the surface. Like a piece of us knows it's happening.
And one of the things that is also happening, and it really became apparent Saturday night, is the veil between the dimensions is so thin now. Mm-hmm. So people are seeing, spirit in the corner of their eyes, or like I see animals on this property all the time that are not here in the 3D per se, but they're here in spirit form. But I'm seeing it more and more and more out of the corner of my eye. What about everybody out there? Are you finding that you're seeing things, whether it's orbs, whether you think, if for those of you who have pets, now I have 2 dogs and a cat, and I'll look and I'll think, okay, that was Angel or something going by me. And I'll look and there's no animal there, not one of mine in 3D. And so I'm finding more and more and more that I'm seeing things, and it's usually out of my peripheral vision.
Yeah, it's almost like at first I thought I was getting floaters. That started happening back around January, February. I thought that there was something wrong with my vision because I would have these little black, like, or one time I was walking through this antique shop with Abby and I stopped and I got out of the way of something. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "No, something black just right down in front of me." We're seeing things that are, the third eye is really, really becoming more and more active. So it can be a little startling at first. I don't know about, most people are like, "Well, what's wrong with me? I got to go to the eye doctor. I got something, like something really bad is going on." Just be aware that we're experiencing more than we ever have before. In whatever way, for me, I'm a feeler. I feel energy. I love to feel energy. I'm a bit of an energy, what's my word? Like I seek it out, whether it be good or not. When I first started, it was like I go to these antique shops just because I wanted to feel what different things felt like. It's a fun game. Please allow yourself to do that. You trust yourself to go into these places, stop hiding from it, and it's okay. You'll know the good energies. You can move towards them. You instinctively will know what you want to be, what you feel repelled by. But don't run away. Go to rock shops and let the rocks kind of pull you in one direction or the other. Which rocks are best for me? Let me just get into that mode and let it pull me. Go out into the woods and hug a tree and feel the energy of the tree, feel the rocks, take off your shoes and put your bare feet on the earth and begin to really experience the ecstasy, because there is pure ecstasy in nature. It's like there's such love that comes out of the earth for us. And if you're not allowing yourself to experience it, you are really missing the boat now, because it's such an incredible experience to feel.
Well, it looks like a lot of people in this group. By the way, we have 2 angels with us.
Saw that.
Welcome to both of our angels. And Suzanne says she is feeling it all the time. Becky says, yes, I'm seeing more energy off of people easier now. And John says, I feel we are all being given new gifts at the moment. Oh, now this is interesting. And I know you have this happen, but I have this happen all the time with Angel and Brookie. Mm-hmm. Suzanne says her kitties also see the energies. Mm-hmm. My dogs, and I'm sure my cat does, but she's she's very independent, so she doesn't hang out with us mere mortals very often.
Way too good for you. Trust me.
For the rest of us. But my dogs see everything. They see everything, and it's amazing too. How much they bark, like all the time. And most people can look and go, I don't see what they're barking at, but they are seeing stuff in their eyes. Like I'll be thinking and I'll be meditating or talking to my guides, and Angel will be looking all around me like, okay, who's that?
That's what Zachary's been doing. We're out walking back up the street and Jim was with me, and the dog is looking back and forth in the sky at something, and he's all excited and all happy. And I'm like, what in the world? I think he's on dope. What did he chew on while we were down the park? Because he looked like he was losing his mind. He was so excited. This is the dog that Steve walked all the time. This was Steve's dog. I really feel like he was experiencing Steve that day. I really do. I think he got so happy and so excited for whatever he was seeing. And I really feel like he was like, oh, there you are. And he's all excited. And I'm like, I see him not seeing anything. I think you're crazy. But yeah, the animals, pay attention to them. I know your animals do it because I watched your animals.
Oh, I know. They're crazy with it. Patricia said, yes, John, he loves it. Tammy, yes, yes, this is all kind of new to me, but I'm always turning my head like, what was that?
Yeah.
I have 6 pets, so I do talk myself into it. Was it them often? I probably, I would venture a guess that you're starting to see between the dimensions. And the other thing that's happening, are you finding this, that time is shifting between the dimensions, or you're losing stuff in another dimension and coming back to this one and it's not there, or like
It shows up
really
again, though.
strange stuff.
It's like, no, I know that wasn't there. Where did that come from? Because I just looked there and it wasn't there, but then it's back again. And you're like, okay, the matrix is like melting away. Something is just not right. You can always tell there's like this sense of that done, something just happened that wasn't supposed to happen, you know, because things are just kind of shifting in on itself. So I know that we're really making some progress. You know, I just feel like everything, and there's going to come a point, and I don't know, maybe this is me being crazy, but don't you feel like there's going to come a point when suddenly we wake up to the, oh, and then we suddenly realize, okay, this is all a game. We were just playing a game. That's not the truth of me at all. Like I'm over there someplace. I'm just like, truly, I believe there's so much truth in the matrix. I think that we're just really going through our little video game thinking it's all real, and suddenly we wake up and go, oh, that's not real at all. And then when we realize that, we're gonna see how massive we really are, and how powerful and how beautiful we can create the planet.
Bruce Lipton that says, and not just Bruce, but Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden all say that, but Bruce, I heard say it first, that the movie The Matrix was not a movie, it was a documentary.
That's what I feel too. I feel like there's so much truth to it.
States that constantly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hope says that I keep seeing a little flicker of white light just beneath my left eye, and it's at least 2/3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. I'm convinced that it is a fairy. I have asked that they tell me who they are, but no joy. Do you get a hint on that at all?
I don't know. I'd have to work one-on-one to really get more of a hit. I don't know for sure without going into a session for sure what that's all about. But I'm not going to say no. Of course, it could be any kind of elemental. Of course, you could be catching. I mean, sometimes I really feel like I hear the dragon walk up, boom, 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 boom behind me, or I sense something fly by my face or something, and I'm like, what was that? A little while ago, I was in a session with someone, and I kept seeing these lights go by here. And I'm like, are you someplace where it could be like a reflection or something? And she's like, no. And I'm like, no, I just saw it go. And then I saw it come right across her face, like across her mouth. I'm like, what is this? So we're just seeing so much more. I wouldn't say no. Of course it could be a fairy. It could be anybody. It could be an angel. I get more of a sense when I say angel, I get the heart hit. So it feels like it's one of your angels is staying very close to you. You're actually catching a glimpse of like angel wings. That's where that light's coming from.
Cool. John says, we have far more than 2 angels on here, Gerald. Absolutely. They were just the angel names. But yes, we have lots of angels.
Lots of earth angels or star seeds. I like the article that Carol Ann posted about star seeds because I feel so much truth in that.
I do too. In fact, I don't know Anita Davies, who many people know Anita, and she did my starseed reading of my planet of origin and everything. She's really good at that, and I have my starseed family here with me as guides. So, and Suzanne says, dreams. Crazy dreams. Wow. I am okay. Is everybody else having crazy dreams too? Because mine are off the charts craziness. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, last night I was laying there and something woke me up. Now there's connections between us. Be aware that we are so much more connected to each other than so you may actually be hearing each other or hear parts of your soul family or someone that's very close. You'll be sleeping and you're like, wait a minute, I just heard that person and they're not even in the house with me. So I did that last night, sleeping. I woke up because I heard Jim make a noise in his sleep. Well, Jim wasn't here last night, so it's like, oh, weird. Like, and I've had that happen before. So be aware that we're so connected to each other. To pay attention, it's kind of interesting that we're able to communicate with each. Don't you think we're? Of course, we can telepathically communicate with one another. And especially when we fall into the sleep state and we let the conscious mind let go. And then suddenly we're communicating, our angels communicate with us, our, spirit guides, everyone communicates better when we fall into that sleep state. So of course the dreams are being affected by that. I think it's just incredible to pay attention to because just to keep a dream journal, please. Even though they seem really silly, I've got to beat myself up a little bit because I haven't been doing that. But those dreams are really, they're it's really interesting to go back and kind of try to sort out what they're trying to tell us, isn't it?
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I want to say hi to Erica Hoppy. She's with us. And let's see. Oh, okay. So Patricia is having crazy dreams. Hope is having crazy dreams. And Angel, one of the angels said, I'm constantly catching energy reflections peripherally in the lens of my glasses. Now that would be interesting too.
Yeah, I've done that too when I wear glasses. Suzanne Tingles affirmed. I like that. Hi, Erica.
Hey, Erica.
Yes. John has actually seen fairies, so I'm a little jealous because I'm always looking for them. I feel like we see them anyway. When I look at dragonflies or anything, it's like I'm gonna look and see hard enough. If I look hard enough, I'm gonna see those fairies. But the UK, it seems like they're so much more open overseas to things like that.
Oh, yeah. And maybe it's because, if you think about the culture there, I mean, if you look at the Knights of the Round Table, you look at all of the some of the first real metaphysical teachings came out of there. Yeah,
they haven't shut it down.
A lot of sense. They're just so much more progressive when it comes to spirituality a lot of times. And Sharon is with us. Hello, Sharon. Oh my gosh. Have you seen her new picture lately? Oh, it's gorgeous. She's such a beautiful woman inside and out. I just love her. No judgment, just love. That's an international movement that Sharon Ria. And boy, do we need that right now, don't we? No judgment, just love.
If ever. Now it's more important than ever. If we
can time is definitely
let go of the judgment, accept that we all see things through a different lens and just agree to disagree sometimes. To say, okay, well, yeah, I see that you can't quite, our perceptions are different on that. Okay. And then just accept it and move on. We don't have to try to force each other. We don't want to see everything. We were made this way. We're supposed to see things differently. So I love that movement.
It would be such a boring place if we all felt the exact same way.
Well, why would we come here? Truly,
yeah, exactly. What purpose exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Hey, there's me. My clone has arrived. That's all we would be, is that we all look exactly alike and we'd all think exactly alike, and it would be such a boring place.
Absolutely. Erica says, love, love, love is all there is. Absolutely. Yeah. Who could ask for more than unconditional love? You can't. That's it. There are two things, love or fear. I choose love. I choose love.
Yeah, if you can just keep yourself on that very simple way of thinking all the time. I've only got fear, and everything that's lower vibrational comes out of fear, and everything, and I got love. And if everything that's higher vibrational comes out of love, then I want that because it raises me up here. And then I feel like it's better than any high you could ever get on any kind of chemical substance. It's like this continual feeling of, wow, bliss. I just live in this blissful place. And then when I let fear come in, it pulls me down into this horrible place. It's no fun. It's no fun. So then I go, okay, wait, let me change my filter back over here. It's that easy. Which filter are you going to look through?
Right. But I will say this also, and please, please, please be gentle with yourself when you find yourself in fear, because as you said earlier, We came here to experience emotions. If we weren't meant to go through this transformation of emotions, we would have gone somewhere else.
That's for sure.
And we're very fortunate that we got to come here right now at this time to help us, because this planet isn't going to be the denser emotional planet somewhere in the linear future, if that makes sense.
If we even end up with a linear future.
Yeah.
Deborah?
Yeah. Well, when you're in 5D, there isn't such a thing as linear. That's 3D. So I find myself like straddling between 3 and 5D and trying to explain a future reality which is actually happening simultaneously as this reality. And then I just get all messed up in my head and how I try to explain it. But there will come a time when we're not in we don't bounce back and forth between the love and fear. Maybe that's the easiest way to say it.
Right. I really feel like what's happening is there is a death to the lower vibrational ego. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So right now we still have to deal with that lower vibrational ego and so many other lower vibrational egos that walk the planet. And part of our fear response right now is the change in that, because the ego doesn't want to the ego is afraid of not being afraid. So it's like kicking and screaming. It's like, no, I'm here to protect. I'm only here to protect you and keep you from getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. So I got to bring fear all the time to you so that you don't end up getting hurt. So we're coming to a place where we have to learn to move ourselves back over to here so we're not stuck in that. And then it's slowly working its way out. But like you said, we do have to experience it in order to help it to.
We can't transform that which we can't experience. So, and hi, Melanie. Melanie is with us.
Hi, Melanie. 5D up. Yes.
Up. Yes. Yes.
What is we are? John says we are an energy that existed before the earth was created. I've gone back to the beginning. We were part of the creation of the earth. That's what's so miraculous is people will sit there and say, well, I don't believe in a creator and I don't believe in this. I'm like, well, you are. You are a creator.
Yeah.
We're a part of all of that. Of course, we've been around much longer than that. We're all part of that collective energy that is the creator, right?
Yeah.
Gets too deep into stuff, but yeah, I'm feeling you on that one, John. I totally agree. Ego is here on earth and part of being human. There isn't any ego on the other side. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we can finally step out of it. Don't you look forward to that day? Where
yeah. Or having, the poor ego has really taken a brutal hit. The ego, we really couldn't survive here without the ego. What we've done though is that we've basically turned our lives over to the ego, right, so that it rules everything. And so we go on this automatic pilot and we let the ego just kind of take us around. So if we could just kind of step back and go into partnership with it and say, okay, that's a little extreme. Maybe let's not go down that road, but to at least until we move into those higher dimensional consciousnesses, we actually have to have it to keep us alive. What we've done is we've taken it to such an extreme that it rules everything.
Right.
So,
well, we've forgotten who we are.
Yeah, exactly.
People walking the planet, they think that the ego is all they are. It's not. It's just your little avatar.
Well, and in some cases, that's the truth. We've become so identified with the egoic structure that we have forgotten our spiritual self, if you will. So I think we're finding our way out of that. Don't you think? And that we're finding our way back.
As we begin to remember that we have that higher consciousness, then the ego, we start to pull the ego into alignment. It's not that we want to get rid of I came here to be this. I came here to be
exactly.
I don't want to wash myself away and just be, because that's spiritual bypassing. Then you're just like, I'm just walking around, my feet are way up here. I'm no good to anybody when I do that. So I'm still me, very much me. And anybody that watches my shows knows that you see a lot of who I am in the shows, but I'm right there in the trenches with everyone else. And what I'm working on and what we're all working on is pulling that ego into alignment with the higher self. So then you've got both. It's no longer just ego, and you don't want to be just this, but you want to come together.
A balance.
Then
Yes.
perfect
Yeah.
balance of who you are.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. I like that. That's very well said. Yeah. Because hopefully that's where we all move to. Yeah. So yeah, John says we need to send our ego to the room of transformation. Absolutely.
I give it a good time out sometimes. I'm like, okay, ego, no more. I have to. Now, how many times do you, Geraldine, you're like, just shut up for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, please stop saying that stuff in my ear. I'm tired of it. I don't want to feel that way, because the ego gets really, really wrapped up in a lot of that lower vibrational emotion, and it keeps whispering. You're like trying to go along, do stuff, and all it goes, well, what about this? And you're like, no, you're pulling my life energy away. I want you to come over this way for a while. And that requires us to maybe spend some time comforting the ego too. Okay, your higher self is full of love and light. It's on the other side. It's never really had to go through all the painful experiences that the ego's had to go through. The ego needs comfort. The ego needs to be like pulled up in your lap sometimes and say, come on, let's rock for a while, because you've been through a lot. Ego, you've been good to me. You kept me alive. If we didn't have egos way back when, the human race would have died off. There would have been nothing.
It would have. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite sayings is right. You may be right, but let's just try it this way anyway. Okay. Let's just give this a shot for a minute.
Right.
And it is a negotiation. Yeah.
There can be a rewiring of the ego. There not only can there be, but we're rewiring.
That's what we're doing.
So that it doesn't always fall into fear. So then it can rewire, and it can say, oh no, now it's going, oh, I can just go from this. I don't got to go all the way down into the trenches, into that lower vibration, because truly 5D means there is no more lower vibration. There's no more of that anger, judgment, fear, all that stuff. We suddenly come to this place where we realize we don't need those lessons anymore. So we let them go. So that's what we're working on. I don't know if we'll get there in this physicality, but
who knows? I kind of wonder that. What my dad said something to me today. I don't even know what we were talking about. And he said, well, you're going to live to at least 100. And I said, yeah, I know. Because he's 91 and he's in great shape. And my mom's 88 and she's in great shape.
Right.
And I said, yeah, I know I am. In fact, I see 105, 110 potentially, but I know I'm going to hit 100 minimum. And I see myself at least another 40 years. So my point in saying that is I'm excited to see where this consciousness will be at that point, when I do finally say to this body, okay, we're done with this body. Let's go to the other side for a little bit, take a break, take a breather, and then come back into another body. Okay. Because I have a feeling that I have at least one more left in me for sure. But
we'll come back more advanced than we did the last time anyway. We'll come back. Yeah. Babies now are coming and knowing their Akash, they or at least remembering the lessons that they've learned in past lifetimes, so they don't have to keep on repeating. So if we decide we want a new model, a new avatar, we get to go.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
Angel says inner balance. Thank you for saying that, Angel. And it is all about balance. It's balancing the egoic self with the spiritual self. It's balancing the masculine and the feminine. Everything is about balance. That should be our key phrase, balance.
It's the same with your diets. It's the same with everything. Just find a balance. It's okay to have a goodie every now and then. Just don't make it the biggest part of your meal. It's okay to go out and have fun, but make sure that you're spending some time doing some inner work. It's always about, it's okay to take care of others as long as you're taking care of you. Everything, just make sure that you're finding a healthy balance in everything that you do. You're exactly right.
She says, what we feel, we also see. Yeah.
Yes, John, I agree. I don't want to wear a mask anymore either. I don't want to try to be, and I think that I don't want to wait until my next lifetime to do that. Now I'm pretty much coming to the point. I remember just a couple of years ago, I was still so careful about letting people see the real me. And now the more I try to cover up the real me, the more it's like, did you ever watch, Sherilyn? Let me ask you that movie Men in Black, where the alien took on the skin suit. He just like is kind of
Yeah.
gross. But he took on a man's suit, and then
Yeah.
he come out of that. It was
He just
really
took it
difficult
off.
to
Yeah.
put himself
Yeah.
into it. And then when he came out, he was much bigger, and he would walk better, and everything was okay. I feel like that myself. My soul is too big for my body. And so there's times when I feel like I'm just gonna I'm gonna explode. I don't have enough room in me for me. And to try to cover that and to cloak it has gotten to be too much work. It's like if I gotta be around people that make me try to act like I fit into society, I'm just not very happy. It's just like, this isn't for me. I need to be around people like when I was there with you and with Carol Ann, those people that allow us to come out and just shine just as brightly as we want to shine without trying to cover ourselves up. That's like a gift,
It
an
is.
amazing gift when you can do that.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And just being this here, my first, you talked about the suit, the skin suit. My first spiritual teacher, Rex, and I often refer to Rexology 101. It was 35 years ago we met, and he was an amazing man. He has since passed, but he said, we have it all wrong here. We should be mourning death, a birth, and
Exactly.
celebrating death, because that soul comes in and it's like, okay, the other joke is that we're we're up there and we're picking out the lifetime and everything. And I said, this last time I was probably in the bathroom with a couple of my friends, smoking a cigarette, having a drink, I don't know, who knows? I was probably going, you know what? I have done that so many times. I don't need to hear the fine print. We've done this, been there, done that.
You just came running in and signed your name on the dotted.
I said, okay, just sign me up, put me on whatever list. I don't care. And then we get here and we go, oh crap. And for that, children, when you think about it, when I look at infants now, when I look at little kids and I think about that soul coming in and being confined in that body, it makes perfect sense to me, that, we come here for a great mission, and we came here as light workers, and I am so grateful I have this body. I really am truly grateful that I'm here at this time. But I think about what that must feel like to that infant to be this soul, and it knows it's doing it, but it's like it gets in there and then boom, it goes, oh crap, what have I done? The reality of it said,
it's born and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I changed my mind, too late.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're in it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it now.
Exactly.
Sign the dotted line, babe.
Yeah, I know. It's I would like to say it's a mystery, but it's not a mystery. It is what it is, and I am really grateful to be here.
Now, if you are
here, not easy always.
No. And for all of us that are here now that have chosen this role as light worker, you are know that you're a very advanced soul.
Yeah.
That you came into a very difficult assignment, and you're getting a big pat on the back and a whole lot of help, because they know how difficult it is, and you brought a whole huge team with you to help you get through it. So please, every time you start feeling like, whoa, this is way too much all by myself, please reach out for a little bit of help, because you got a lot of help that not a lot of souls were allowed to come in during this time. So if they allowed you to come in and do this work, you're really something.
Yeah. Yeah, because what you just said, not everybody gets a skin suit. Not every soul gets to come here, and a lot apply for the job. Mm-hmm. So to get this job you had to be pretty exceptional, and that's not about ego. That's about you were the right person for this mission to come here right now. Mm-hmm. And Carol Ann Allen says, I always felt I had something important to do here. Yeah, we all do. And honestly, Carol Ann, you affect so many people in such a positive way. Just your energy. Sometimes we think that we have to have these big numinous paths or whatever. But I have to tell you, just meeting Carol Ann in person and how she made my soul sing. Her vibration made me feel so warm and so good that if you don't do anything else on this planet, and you do a lot more with your artwork and everything else and everyone that you connect to, if you didn't do anything else, that would be the most important thing anyone can do here. And that's to make another human being, another soul, make their soul sing. That
You've
is a
woken
gift,
people
my
up to
friend.
their truth
That
without
is the
even
gift.
trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
You
won't
don't even
know.
get that you're doing it. That's the amazing part. She doesn't even understand
You
how
pass it on someone.
impactful. Yeah.
Because our souls resonate with one another. So you might just be in Walmart or someplace and you're just doing your shopping and you have no idea that you suddenly just gave somebody a wake-up call. You like they went through your energy and they went, oh, wait, what is that? And then something in them wakes up. So we're actually doing our job 24/7, going about life, just living. And we think it's very 3D to think that we have to do some amazing thing. Like I got to be a famous author, or I got to be, well, go ahead and write your books if you want to, but you don't have to be a famous author. If that book gets out to one person and changes their life, or if, because there's the ripple effect. You've woken one person up and that person's going to wake up 100 or 1,000 or whatever. And it just keeps going and going and going. And we're here to help each other wake up to our truth so we can raise the vibration of the planet and save the world. Throw that in there. Get your Superwoman, your Wonder Woman, Superman, whatever your superhero, and put that cape on and know that that's you just by breathing, just by being here.
Absolutely.
You don't have to try to qualify.
Yeah, when you walk through like when I go through a checkout line, I will talk to the girl. I mean, I love it if they're even really cranky, because I go, you know what, you must be having a really tough day. I don't know how you do what you do, but thank you. Terry Angel does something really cool, and I've always admired this. She has these cards, they're called gratitude cards, and it says, I am grateful for you. And she gives these cards to people. When she goes into checkout, when she goes through a checkout lane, if she sees someone, if she's anywhere, she will pull one of those cards out and give it to someone. And you would be amazed at first. And I've watched this happen many, many times with these cards. At first, they look at it like, what are you trying to sell me? And then they look at it. The impact that simple card has on them is amazing. Just a thank you, just saying to someone and looking them in the eye, because all we got right now are our eyes, but our eyes say it all with the mask. If you just look, see, just my eyes, right? My eyes can tell you a story. My eyes can show you love. My eyes can say thank you. Smiling with your eyes. That's a challenge to each and every one of us. Yeah. Yeah, the card thing is so cool. It is so amazingly cool. Yeah, Laura says she loves it when they're cranky too. Then the challenge is, how do you make them feel better? What can you say to them that's genuine? Like, wow, you must have a really tough job. I can't imagine how you do it and all this energy, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really am grateful for you. Yeah. And hi, Susie and Janet. Wow. Hi, guys.
And they're so overwhelmed, and you just say, some kind words. And I want you to know that it's not always what you do. John kind of pinpointed that too. He's like talking about the healing energies that we create just being here. Wonder if you healers are aware of the healing you give out just by doing your beautiful live feed. So he's talking about this, but it's also like wherever you go, because you carry, if you work on your energy and you raise your vibration and you take that on with you, like I've gotten into the habit of, before I go into those stores, I'm like, okay, let me get my vibration up, so that when I'm walking by people, and sometimes I'll even verbalize, I'm like, all right, everyone that crosses my path today, I want them to receive some kind of blessing. I set my intention on that. So then I go through and I don't even have to talk to them. And sometimes they receive some kind of love energy and they don't even know where it came from. You can see the look on them. They suddenly change. Please know that your energy is so important. You don't have to necessarily do anything different. Just be here now. Be you. Be who you came here to be. And you're already doing your job. It's that easy. Be happy. Please be happy and find joy. That's really important.
It's that easy. And it's easy in concept, but not always easy to do, especially with all that energy. So if you're holding love and light as you go through, kind of imagine, if you will, when you're going through the store, it's coming out your eyes. but it's also shooting out your heart chakra, that you're just kind of like this, like a machine gun of love, a gun of love, or what are they, like a super soaker, right? A super soaker with the water, but you're spraying out love around everyone, and it's beaming out of your heart chakra. See the energy flowing out and let it hit every single person that you come across in a store or anywhere that you go. It's kind of fun. I do that. I smile at people with my eyes all the time, or say hi or whatever, and just, it's, yes, Janet says it's good to give positive vibes, and it's even greater for you if the same energy is flowing back through. Yes, it is.
Machine gun of love. I love that.
Yeah.
See, I look at it as a supernova. Every one of us is like they're lighting up our cells from inside. So as you're walking out, there's like these little beams out of every pore of your skin. There's like these light beams pouring out of you. And so it's within a certain radius around you, so that everywhere you go, if you're just, even if they're 6 feet away, which they're supposed to be, that aura is still reaching out and touching them. And like, we're just like spreading all this love everywhere. It's not that difficult. It really is meant to be really easy. You are a being of love. That is who you are. So of course you are spreading love everywhere you go. That is your job. All of the rest of the things that you do, the beautiful little things that you do, reaching out to love people in different ways, that's the icing on the cake. The cake itself is you and the energy that you are carrying around, the love, the energy that you already have. Okay. So that's what and we got to go.
I know we do. I want to read this comment though, if I can. Angel says, I love the look on a person's face when in a passionate conversation, and I stop and say, but I am not trying to change your mind. I just enjoy getting to know you. What if more people did that? It's okay that your opinion is different than mine. It's okay if you don't believe what I believe. But wow, what if you said to them, I'm not trying to change your mind. I just want to get to know you, because I'm going to love you no matter what your opinion is. Opinions come and go. They do, but getting to know someone is awesome.
I love you guys. Look at all these loves.
I love you too. Oh.
And listen to someone who says that if we don't have a place with a better vibe, we
don't leave a place.
Oh, leave a place with a better vibe. I think that's exactly true, is that with the vibration that we carry, we should be, when we leave the building, it should be there going, wow, what was that? Yeah. I often will question myself. I'm like, did I do enough? People come to my house or we go to someplace, I'm like, did I do enough? And today it was coming to me like, of course you did, because it's the vibration. It's what you carry, not what you do.
Yeah, it is. It's very true. And you should go to her house. It's really cool. If you're ever in Gatlinburg, show up at her door. I'm inviting you to Diana's house. You got to go there. It is amazing.
One by one. It's not a big house, okay?
Yeah, it's not big, so you can't all go at one time, all right? So, yeah.
I wish
here you can come a whole bunch at a time, because we got lots of space out here, and it's warm, so I can put you outside if I have to.
I think I'm just gonna have to take my show on the road, and I don't care about any old COVID. I'm just gonna take the show on the road and share the love. One of these days, that's what we're coming to.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's great. And I'll tell you what, guys, thank you so much for all your compliments, because you know what, we couldn't do this without you. I mean, it would just be her and I having a conversation, and we can do that on our own. But this is exciting to me. This is where the juice is. Is it John Fiore that says that? This is where the juice is, and this is where the
pineapple pizza.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to go there. But I mean, Laura says she's going to join you in the road. I want to go too.
Okay, first we're going to come back to the UK.
Yes, we're coming to the UK. I love the UK. I was I only got to go to London for 10 days, but I felt like I was home. I
love it.
I felt like
that's where my roots are. Well, I mean, I could go all the way back into history, but that's where my roots are. So
I do.
Yeah, I feel at home there. So yes, definitely. Let's get all this travel back up. Let's get our love vibes going so we get rid of all the disease from everywhere.
Absolutely. So we can get out there and meet each other. In the meantime, come to Florida. You're welcome to
Come
come.
back to the show tomorrow morning. Let's see. I'll be on the playground.
Yep, I'll be on the playground.
Thursday night. I don't know who's going to decide to come on there with me. They may make me hang out there all by myself again, but
I might come on with you Thursday night.
I'm like a whole
feeling
big
in a
family.
much better space, and I don't have any appointments in the afternoon, so I've got a free afternoon. I may just have to pop on if you'll let me.
Of course I will. Anybody else that wants to show up on
Anybody
Thursday?
else? Come on, let's go.
And creation of connections, let me know. I think we can have all kinds of fun.
Okay, Janet, I'm on my way to Bristol. That sounds good to me.
I'm
Okay, we'll do the whole UK tour because we got to go and see
I was in Bristol a couple
Sharon Boyle too. So
yes, we got to go to Scotland too. I got to go back to Ireland. So we're on our way. 2022.
we're doing it. Oh, and John, we got to see John and Hope and oh yeah. Okay. Actually, we did talk about 2022, didn't we? Talked about 2022 coming over for Lionsgate.
Yeah.
So
that's your attention.
Yeah. And thank you all.
Year and a half.
Yeah. Thanks for your input, everybody, because you know what? I don't know about you, but I love reading the comments and seeing what you're thinking and how we're just all helping each other. So in the meantime, have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, Carol Ann says she's ready. Let's go. Yeah, I'm serious about it. 2022, 8/8. We're going to go over for Lionsgate. So let's start working on that tour.
We're going to do it.
Shall we?
Yeah, we'll take a big cruise.
Yeah, sounds good.
The Lionsgate cruise. We're really building on this now. I love you guys. We will see you.
I love you, everybody.
Take good care
of you. See y'all later. Thanks.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.
Before they boot us off.